Hi, everybody. So I'm very excited about my guest today. Today's guest is an athlete turned charity advocate, life coach, and personal trainer. From representing Great Britain in the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta to being the first woman to jump over 14 metres in the Commonwealth, our guest knows the power of perseverance and self-belief. Not only as an advocate for fitness, by being a women's health collective trainer, she continues to work with charities such as Diabetes UK and Women's Aid. More notably, her work with the Menopause Charity has taken her to the House of Parliament to present a Menopause Manifesto and to celebrate World Menopause Day, which just happened, I think, October. So I was there as well, and it was very exciting. So while supporting all these worthy causes, she is a mother of 3 beautiful children and continues her mission to empower women and girls to unlock their full potential. My lovely friend, Michelle Griffith Robinson.
Hey, babe, you made
Thank you so much for coming.
God bless. It's so nice. It's so
nice. So I have to give the backstory before anything else. So Michelle used to come to my store in Wembley over 20 years ago when I just started, and you were a major supporter. And you brought in Denise Lewis. And I remember the fun we used to have with you two, putting dresses on, walking around the store, loving the clothes. Yeah, I mean, that was amazing. And it was you and Denise and then even Mel B around that time. It was all that time when I was working with all 3 of you. So that was amazing. And that was right at the start of my career. So we've just reconnected over the last few months. But we were following each other on Instagram and this podcast came up. Amazing. And I thought you are the perfect person to be on it. If there's anyone to talk about being over 40, talking about fitness and being a strong, empowered woman, that is you, Michelle. 100%.
Thank you. I'll take that.
It's 100% true. There's no one better for this. So I'm very, very honoured to have you here.
Thank you, darling.
So my first question to you is, not only are you a personal trainer, but you are a lifestyle coach and mentor. How important is the health of our mind when it comes to exercising and maintaining a healthy lifestyle?
So I think that when you're talking about the mind, you know, everything's always connected. If you're not in the right frame of mind for anything you do, there's always going to be a barrier or a block, and you're not actually going to then put in the 100% effort. So I think that mentally you have to be in a position and ready to really aim for whatever goal you have. So, and that fluctuates a lot during a midlife, you know. So anything past 40, 45 actually is most women are perimenopausal past 45.
Yeah.
So, you know, anything past that is where you start to get a little bit of self-doubt, you know, the little bit you start to think more about imposter syndrome. But mentally, if you are able to just say, do you know what, let me put that to one side. Let me concentrate on the actual real truth, the evidence. Because sometimes we're playing these horrible stories in our head, and that can then stop us from doing stuff and act as a blocker. So mental toughness, strong mental well-being is essential.
I mean, Olympics.
Yeah.
The mind.
Yeah.
Isn't that, when you say sometimes it is definitely mind over body?
Yeah,
absolutely. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I've just watched that film, Naiad.
Yeah.
I mean, 61. Yeah. And to have done that swim. Yeah. I mean, I felt so empowered watching that, and that whole thing about never giving up. Never give up. I mean, that's not about, it's not about fitness. It's just about me still being here after 25 years.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
It's all in here, isn't it? Whether you're going to give up or not. 100%. And do you give up you feel like over 50, you just think, should I give up now? And I did feel this. And why am I still doing this at 50? Yeah. I don't feel like I've got where I need to be. And that could be in anything, right?
Anything. That transferable mindset is relatable to everything you do in life. So, of course, I'm one of the lucky ones, or unlucky, that was able to compete at the highest level in my sport. So that's ingrained in me, how I am.
So you're so strong in here, though.
Mentally strong,
like
mentally strong, but you still have to remember, I still have my elements of weaknesses.
Yeah.
Where sometimes I struggle.
Yeah.
Because that's real life. We all struggle. That's real life, and we mustn't. In anything I do, I try not to, put on this persona that everything's always great, because it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not. But having that strong mental attitude.
Where do you get that strength from?
My mama.
Right.
My strength is from my mum.
Even when you were training, was it all your mum?
My mum is the one that would say to me small little anecdotes of, when you fall down, get back up. Not every day is going to be great. And I think these are the things that you think, actually, my mum's right. And my mum's 83 now, and I still go back to some of the brilliant sayings that she's taught me from a 10-year-old kid. Because that's going to hold me in good stead when times are tough. Because we mustn't pretend that times are always easy, because that again, that's not real life. And this age allows you to really recognise what you want, what you don't want, but also lets you really look deeply into, where am I? Am I where I want to be? Because you know what? It's about 30 summers left, if we're lucky.
Exactly.
Our time is numbered, and I say that in a positive way. So therefore, then I choose to really say, right, what do I want to do? And I say to, as a lifestyle coach, I say to a lot of my clients that come to me with different things, and I'm mentoring them. I'm saying, you tell me what you want to do, and how realistic is that? What's stopping you from doing what you want to do? And a lot of the time, like you said, it's the mind. The mind's what stops them, and the self-belief and the courage.
Honestly, I think that's one big thing for me, because when I did turn 50 just this year, it was very much about, why am I still doing this? I don't feel like I've got to where I need to be still. Is it too late? Am I too old? Should I have given this up by now? Should I have realised by now? But I still love doing it, and the challenges of creating new product and all of that. I think it's just the passion, isn't it? So I think seeing someone like you, seeing that film, all this type of thing, and you see women over 50 still achieving, and also female entrepreneurs, strong women over 50, is very empowering, because we need more role models like that.
Absolutely, we need more role models like that. But I guess more importantly, we've got years of experience. Why should we stop?
Yeah, that's very true.
Well, you've got young people that are looking up to, young people are looking up to you to think, actually, Raishma, how did you get there? That you've got to be, you've paved the way for a lot of young girls, young Asian girls coming through, who would never be encouraged to do this. They wouldn't be encouraged to go into fashion.
No, it's not a safe career.
And you say it's not a safe career, or it's not the career that their parents would want for them.
Exactly.
Both of them. Both of those things. So the fact that we are trailblazers in our own right.
Yeah.
I'm a girl from Wembley. Who would ever thought that a girl from Wembley, from a working class background, would be, the Olympian, would be talking in Parliament on menopause, diabetes, would be rallying around, being a writer for women's health, standing up there in front of 1,000 people at the Tina Turner concert, talking about domestic abuse. And these are things that, this is who I want to be now.
Yes.
So what I do every day when I get up, I give thanks.
Yeah.
I give gratitude. But I would never change my pathway, because it's made me who I am today.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Brilliant. Okay. So I understand that you had quite a shock when you were diagnosed with pre-diabetes.
Yeah.
So how did that experience inspire you to become an ambassador for Diabetes UK? And how have you kind of coped with that in your life? When did you find out?
So it was 2018 that I walked into a doctor's surgery 5 years ago.
5 years, yeah.
And fit, size 12, gained a couple of pounds since retiring from sport, but nothing major.
No.
And I walked in, I've been weeing all night, and I'm starting to really, what's going on here? So I went into my doctor's surgery. I lived in North Devon at the time, and the doctor said to me, you're not diabetic. So straight away that, perception, you're not diabetic because you're fit. But not knowing that actually I'm 1.5 to 3 times more likely to be pre-diabetic than my white European counterpart, because of my genetics. Black and Asians is genetics. So with that, I took it on with my Olympic hat on, determination, perseverance. And I said, right, I need to find out how I can get out of this pre-diabetic zone.
Yeah.
And with that, I decided to go on to quite a keto diet, high protein, low carbohydrate diet.
Did you do all the, because I've seen people on keto when they have the high cholesterol stuff, like cream. And how do you, what do you think about all of that? Because I find that quite confusing.
I can't advocate anything because I'm not a nutritionist.
Fine,
but I can talk about what worked for me.
Okay.
So I didn't put cream in cream. I didn't have a lot of cream. But I did go into like high fat.
High fat.
Like cheeses, bacon, chicken, pork, beef.
Yeah.
I went into those type of things with vegetables.
Yes.
And it did work for me, but interestingly enough, and this is something, again, I'm not a doctor or nutritionist, but interestingly, what worked for me to get me out of the pre-diabetic state, which was only this year, my numbers were coming down, but what got me out of it completely, I believe, was when I went on HRT as well.
Oh, really?
Because the body started to receive the receptors that was missing. So when you go into, which some people may know, when you got low estrogen, so then all of a sudden when you've got low estrogen, you've got different receptors, you start gaining weight, you're more chance of, having things wrong with the heart.
Yeah.
I think since I started that and my estrogen levels have increased, that's why my pancreas is starting to work better. So I'm no longer, thank the Lord, pre-diabetic. I still will keep getting checks because genetically, it's in my family genetics. My grandmother died from renal failure, linked to diabetes. My mother, unfortunately, had a leg amputated because of diabetes.
Oh my God.
And that's why I joined diabetes, because I wanted to use my voice and my platform to encourage other black families to look at their risks and take action.
I think that's the thing, isn't it, with black and Asian families as well. Like when I interviewed Dahlia, there's this whole thing around ethnic minorities really not understanding where breast cancer goes, how much we need the HRT.
Absolutely.
And then also now with the diabetes, all these conditions that actually we get more aggressively or we're more prone to.
Absolutely.
Or there's different risks around our ethnic minorities that
100%.
we really need to discuss.
And we need to discuss
We
that,
need to
and
voice
that's why.
that.
And that's why, for that reason, why I said, you know what, I need to start, making my brand about matters that matter to me.
Yes.
So I want to be the Michelle Griffith Robinson that can talk about, health and well-being, but talk about it in the fact that I want to impact other young black and Asian women coming through the ranks.
Definitely.
And men.
Yes.
Men need to be
We
part of
can't
the
forget men.
conversation.
They are behind us.
They're
still
behind
there.
us. 100%.
They are still there somewhere roaming around.
They're absolutely. They're definitely
No, listen, I've got a brilliant husband. I can't really complain about
No, we can't complain.
No, we can't
We're in that-
complain.
We're in that can't complain category.
That's a shame. That was been a whole nother conversation. All right, we'll have that off camera. Okay. So that I know I've had my own experience and journey with my own fitness routine going through perimenopause.
Yeah.
What do you recommend exercise-wise for women to focus more on now, kind of going from 40s to 50s and going through all that?
I would say that the biggest thing for women to really focus on now is to really put strength training into their training.
Yeah.
And I'm a big advocate of strength training. I love lifting weights. And gone are the days where women used to think, oh, I can't lift because I'm going to look like a man, and I can't do this because I'm going to look like a man.
Yeah.
Those days are gone now.
Yeah.
So I want to really tell women, get in the gym or get some dumbbells at home, implement strength training 2 or 3 times per week into your training.
Yes.
Because you need that to prevent osteoporosis, to increase muscle mass, and also as well, it helps increasing your metabolism as well.
Yeah. I think that's the hardest thing with
Yeah.
what we don't realise. I mean, when I turned 50, I now think it is because my estrogen dropped again, even though I was on HRT.
Yes, you can.
The night sweats came back.
Yes.
And then that's at the same time I didn't realise I was travelling so much at that time. I think the night sweats came back, my estrogen dropped, and I gained weight. All in one go.
And that will happen as well. Also, as well, we have to look at, that's why I say lifestyle.
Yes.
So we have to look at lifestyle as well. So because you were you were travelling a lot as well.
Yes.
You were outside of kilter. So again, your stress levels, the cortisol levels, and your estrogen.
Oh, you're right.
So it's all of those factors. That's
Yeah.
why when I say to people, one size doesn't fit all. You
No.
can't just go on HRT and think, oh, that's the magic pill. That's
No.
not. What you can do is say, right, what am I doing in my lifestyle? Is this beneficial to me? And it's about being really honest and having that support system around you so that you can end up being the best version of yourself.
I think it's so hard, isn't it? When people
It
say,
is.
try and be calm and your cortisol's up because you're stressed. I get that said to me all the time because I'm running my own business, got 2 kids. Keeping that stress under control. When you feel like you're keeping it under control, you don't know what your body's doing internally with that stress. And then, all right, you could try and meditate. And I go to the gym a lot and I love Zumba. So for me, I dance it out. But I still think it's there. And sometimes it haunts you at night, you're stressed.
Yeah.
But
so
it's
it's about
then,
you finding for you, what could you do that's different if you recognise that you should be stressed. You've got a business to run. We're in a cost of living crisis. I'm sure things have made a difference.
Yeah, it's been a horrendous year.
Things have made a difference to you.
Some amazing things, but also some really tough things.
So actually, you should be stressed. There's a level of stress that's attached to that.
Yes.
Not you should be stressed. I don't want you to be stressed.
No,
but in terms of it matters to you. It's very likely to be stressed.
Yeah.
So what can you then put in your routine that's going to help you to stay level?
Yes.
And that's for you to work out.
No,
Do you
I
know
know.
what? I need to maybe come off my phone. I need to
Yeah.
maybe not do that exercise at night. I need to maybe think to myself,
Yeah.
could I go into do like a meditative state at night,
Yeah.
journal,
Yeah.
gratitude? And these are all tips that I'm sharing with people.
Yes.
To, think to yourself, because we're all going to be in that level of stress. We're at
Yeah.
the generational thing as
Yeah.
well, where we're sandwich generation, parents,
Yeah.
children, things aren't
And I think
necessarily
you have to say to yourself, well, this is only so much I can manage.
There you go.
I can't go to like with me, I can't go to an event, be at work and do something like a really important buyers meeting or do this, and then go to Zumba and then carry on the next day and then do this and then do this and do this.
Too much.
For me, it's too much. I burn out very quick, and health-wise, I drop like sinus and all that kind of stuff comes up.
And that's when you know that's why it's good for you to say,
I can only do so much.
There you go.
I can only do so much, and I've had to accept that.
Good accepting.
Because I just think as much as we want to, and I see other people doing it, and I wonder how they're doing it, but I can't do it.
And I think that's the thing to recognise very early on. That's them.
Yeah.
One size doesn't fit all. And if that's the only message I can pass out to everybody else, one size doesn't fit all, and it's down to you.
But why not?
Because one size doesn't fit all. We're all different. We've all got different backgrounds. We've all got different things that bother us. And actually, some women don't have to go to work and run a business that they've been running for over 20 years.
Yeah. I think maybe because it's my business.
Of course.
That makes it more stressful. But then I see women 55, 60 running around London, networking in the evening, still getting to the gym on time, having a go at me for not turning up at the gym on time and just turning up for the coffee. But I just can't manage it. But maybe it's because that's my own business and that's not their own business. I don't know.
Well, let's be honest here. That's your business to run it how you choose to run it. And not the comparison is another thing that I think
we can't
you have to let go.
women.
No, I can. I've let it go, babe. I'm not the same as anybody else. I'm very much not the same. I'm not even a twin. So why am I comparing myself to another woman? Yeah, we're all in doing our own thing as best as we can. And sometimes we drop the ball and we have to accept that.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. Sometimes. But Raishma, do you know what as well? Not everybody has had the wherewithal to get up and run their own business for over 20 years. And I think that's something that I should champion and say, do you know what? Well done. Stop and reflect on how far you've come.
I think there's too much talk about me in this podcast. We need to divert back to you.
Yeah, but part of me is my lifestyle coach, and this is what I do. I told you said in the beginning of my intro.
You're coaching me now.
I'm coaching you.
I'm getting a free coaching
a free coaching session, a free mentoring session. But this is what brings me joy. This is what makes me who I am today.
I didn't think this podcast would be going in this direction, but thank you very much.
I said to you, let it flow. Let it flow. Let things flow.
Too much flowing.
There's a lot of flowing, but there's a lot of meaning that people can relate to.
I know.
They can relate to what we're saying.
Because we're very honest, upfront people.
We are. We don't pretend. We're not.
No.
We've got no need to pretend.
No. Those days are over.
Them days are done.
Too old for that now. We're too old for that now. Okay, right. Menopause.
Hey.
How did you educate members of your family about the menopause and the experience you were going through? Oh, and we are going through. It's not gone yet, unfortunately.
So,
I think I did read something about.
Yeah, mine's was a good one. I'm very honest.
Your husband.
Yeah, mine's was a great one. My husband about 5 years ago was just saying, gosh, what's going on here? Our sex life isn't what it used to be. I was like, yeah, typically, yeah, clearly.
My son's in the room, so I'm keeping quiet on this one.
Shh. He's not listening. He's got earphones in. And I guess it was me, my moods, my temper, my, starting to doubt my excellence, if I'm being honest, in all sorts of things were going through my head. Brain fog, going to meetings and thinking, oh my gosh, what am I talking about? I've got to deliver a keynote speech and I'm not feeling myself. But having the conversation, having the support from my husband, Matt, has been fantastic. And that was when I really started to find out, what does this look like? What does it, And that's why I then became an ambassador. Dr. Louise Newson reached out to me, a phone call during lockdown and said, would you become an ambassador for the charity?
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, she reached out.
I am with the Newson Clinic, but I did not know you were an ambassador, dear.
Yes, I'm ambassador for the Menopause Charity.
Wow.
And that was her reaching out through Lorraine Candy, contacted her and said, I think a great person to be an advocate for your charity would be myself, and I'm very blessed and honoured. Don't do as much work for them as I'd like to. I also work as a patron for Menopause Mandate. I do a lot of work in Parliament as well, talking around the issues around inequalities in Black women's health and why, you know, our voices aren't seen and heard. And this is not a white middle class. This is not a white middle class. You know, challenge. This is every woman's challenge.
Oh, totally.
You know, so, you know, yes, it's great. One of my closest friends is Lisa Snowdon. Obviously, Davina's part of our menopause mandate as well. But, you know, yes, they've managed to get the word out there, but we do need to see more Black and brown faces out there talking about their experiences. And recently I did a magnificent campaign with Holland and Barrett. And
yes. I came to your event.
Yeah, they had, it was so good. What they did was they managed to get a campaign with myself and another Asian lady, Mira Bogle, and we spoke about menopause and the challenges, and they managed to translate the resource into 4 different languages.
Brilliant.
Urdu, Gujarati, Hindi, and Punjabi.
Right.
And I tell you what, that allowed a lot of women from ethnic minorities to start to understand what is menopause. Because in a lot of these cultures, there's no word for menopause.
No.
And they were just told to get on with it, like in the Black Caribbean cultures. So for me, I'm blessed that my face is out there a little bit more.
Brilliant.
I still need my voice to be pushed out there a little bit more. I still need these magazines to start really sharing our stories. We are different. We're more likely to go into menopause 3 years earlier than our white European women. Our symptoms are more severe. So again, there's still a lot of work to be done, but it's definitely got better.
I think there's our campaign.
Yes.
Different women, all ethnic minorities, talking about the differences and their menopause journey.
Yeah.
That is our campaign.
Differences.
Yes.
Differences.
Yes, definitely. There's a lot of differences, and that's what we need to be airing right now.
And we need to be seeing that.
Yes.
And we need to be seeing the differences, and we need to also understand that this is a time of our life though, where it's time for us to really know who we are, where we're going, and to be joyous, because some women don't make it to our age.
Yes, that suicidal rate.
Honestly,
yes.
Suicidal rate, breast cancer, passing from that, bowel cancer. So we need to start saying we are here.
Yes,
we're able to be here. One of my closest friends has just been diagnosed with bone cancer, and actually she's my age.
Wow,
that hits deep.
Wow,
it hits deep. So it's time for us now to start embracing what we have. Do whatever we need to do to make ourselves feel good, to thrive. Yeah. But at the same time, be grateful and blessed. Show gratitude every day, because some women, unfortunately, don't make it to this age.
Yes, very true. Very, very true. Right. I'm going to ask you now about the personal and professional journey, your key milestones, and what lessons you've learned and how they've shaped you.
Wow, key milestones. First milestone for me. Oh my gosh, I've got huge ones for me. First milestone for me was getting married. Getting married to Matt. I've been with Matt 21 years now. Coming out of an abusive relationship and being with Matt. That's a big milestone for me. I'm very fortunate that I have an amazing husband, very supportive. Yes, not always easy. And the journey is not easy in marriage or any union is not easy. And I guess that's a big milestone for me. The birth of my first child, Reese, who's now 20, makes me proud that I've got 3 amazing children. That's clearly a milestone. So I use them as milestones because actually that's my biggest success. People talk about the Olympics. People might talk about me being an ambassador, but my biggest milestone is my family. Having my mum around for my 50th birthday after her being so poorly was probably something that sticks out to me. And another milestone that I guess I never made a big deal about it was in July this year, my mum was told she was going to be on palliative care. And 3 weeks ago, and half term, my mum was able to come and see my house that I built with my husband.
Wow.
So that's for me are milestones that are deep for me and meaningful.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, they're deep and meaningful, and they're all surrounded by family. If you talk about what's to come next, who knows what's to come next? But I want to stick to my mission, which is to continue to empower women and girls to believe they can be better.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, without family, without my boys and hubby, I mean, this doesn't mean anything.
Nothing.
It means nothing. So I totally understand where you're coming from. Did expect you to say Olympics, so yes, you're right. It's very nice to see how you phrase that. So I know in terms of influential women, it's definitely your mama.
My mama.
Any other women? Or has it mainly been your mum?
It's mainly my mum. And of course, I've got an amazing set of brilliant girlfriends around me.
Yeah.
Girlfriends that have done some incredible stuff, in the sporting arena as well. So women that you look up and you think, gosh, at 15, we could never have imagined.
Yeah. Denise?
Like Denise, inspirational. Donna Fraser, one of my people that aren't in the limelight as well, so there's ones that are behind the scenes and you look and you think, gosh, they've got a successful marriage, raised brilliant children, they've got their own house, so it's not all about being in the public eye.
No.
There's people like yourself that you see, from our little days in being in Ealing Road to where you are now, all these things there's some incredible women around me, but I would say that my mum has definitely been my number one, will always be my number one. But seeing how my two girls and my son are growing up to be excellent citizens of today's society brings me joy.
Makes you so proud, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I know, totally. I agree with that. Got one over there, so I know how you feel.
Absolutely.
Right. So navigating career and family responsibilities, the challenges of that, and getting that kind of, that life balance between professional life and family commitments. I mean, that is always, as you just mentioned to me, it's a very tough gig for me as well. How do you manage? What are your tips?
Tips will be to navigating 3 children. Yes, one's at boarding school, one's at uni, and my little boy's at home. He's only 10.
He's 10, yeah.
He's only 10, so he's young. Navigating that, plus my mum, plus living away, not near to my mum as well, plus my own career that is blossoming.
It is.
I would say, how do I navigate that? By being able to say no, comfortably say no. I can't do it all. Women can have it all, but not all at the same time.
Well put.
So being able to say no to a lot of things. I don't have a fear of missing out. I don't have that. I don't have jealousy. I don't have envy. It's not who I am. I'd be the one there behind every woman out there, cheering her on the sidelines and saying, that's my best friend there. I'm so proud.
But unfortunately, not every woman's like that. I wish every woman was like that. I think it's so important for women to support women.
It's incredible for women to support women. And again, being a life coach maybe has allowed me to think, what's their reasoning for not wanting to support? It's because of their own inadequacies, insecurities, and that's actually not my problem.
Yes, very true.
That's not my problem. No. I can do what I do because that's within my gift. But that's not my problem. I have a brilliant sister-in-law who works for a very big company in HR. She's a champion of mine. I champion her, and having her that I can sound off on a professional level.
Totally.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed, and I know that I'm not going to get that from every walk of life. But that actually, again, I think another thing about being midlife is you recognise who you want in your life and who you don't. And my biggest phrase that I put up everywhere around my house is, don't give your energy where it's not well received. So that's my tip for people. Don't give your energy where it's not well received.
Age,
you know.
Just don't have the time.
You don't have the time or the energy.
No energy.
You haven't got the energy for that.
And you're just up front and you just want to hang around with who you want to hang around with.
Go.
And who you don't, you just have to cut them out.
Cut them out. And the thing is, what I say to everybody, you must never wish anybody any badness.
No, definitely
don't do it
not.
with malice.
No.
But just slide away and let them do their thing and you do your thing.
Yeah.
Just do your thing.
Yes.
Because that's the most important thing. Do your thing. And remember, everyone's going through something.
Yeah, that's very true. Right, finally, now you've come to my well, it's not my new store. This store's been here 5 years, but it's your first time in
my new store.
Your new store. So, how do you feel wearing a Raishma dress after 20 years? I have very much moved on. So I remember when we were WhatsApping each other, and you were like, I want to wear something ethnic, and I was like, I do ethnic, but I have really moved on in terms of who my market is, and my market is everyone now, which is lovely, so lovely. And actually, have you seen how ethnic's moved on? Ethnics is in ASOS. Ethnic is everywhere. So it's nice to see that the world has caught up with Raishma.
It has.
It's taken time.
The world has
taken a long time. But anyway, how do you feel wearing a Raishma dress?
Oh, gosh. Do you know what? This dress is banging, isn't it? But you know what? I've got to be honest.
You've got an eye on quite a few dresses now.
I saw a red one downstairs. I showed Layla it. It's a fitted
Oh, the one with the
fitted
fishtail.
with the fishtail.
Yes.
Does anybody want to invite me to a red carpet so I can just show them what really Raishma does?
You get invited to loads of red carpets.
No, not red carpet. But I want a proper, like
you want a big one?
I want a Met Gala. I want something big.
You want a big,
because I want to go
one.
global as well with my talks.
Yes.
So I can see myself wearing. There's 2 dresses downstairs, but there's about 50 upstairs that I would just wear. So how do I feel in this? I feel beautiful. I feel very comfortable. It's a beautiful neckline, this particular dress.
And you're always confident.
And actually, I don't wear stuff I don't feel good in.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
No.
So number 1 tip to any lady out there listening, don't wear stuff you're not comfortable in.
No.
You will rock it better when you're confident in it.
Thank you so much for coming in today, all the way from Wales. It was a mission to get you over. I'm so glad you came. And honestly, it's been so nice catching up with you.
Thank you for having me. And this will not be the last time.
No.
So just to let you know, I'm getting it on camera that you said that I can borrow any of these dresses for any red carpet.
Yes.
Guys, you heard that here first, okay? Hashtag just saying.
Hashtag you didn't really need to say that because I would have done it anyway, and I've already told you don't need to get that on camera.
Amazing.
And secondly, hashtag when you go global and you are at the Met Gala, I don't want to see you in Valentino or Dior or Gucci. You need to be in Raishma. And get Mel B in that Raishma dress again.
I'll be texting Raishma.
My old client Mel B, oh my God, I need all these ladies back in my life.
But you know what as well, my mum has a really important thing. I know we've finished our talk now, but my mum says something, nothing happens before it's time.
Yes, it's my time and your time now, dear.
Absolutely.
It's got to happen now.
100.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.